Well, hey there. Can you guess what this video is all about? Well, I'm wearing my Rigs of Death Metal t-shirt. I've got this guitar body in my hands, and if that didn't give it away enough, well then the title of the video told you everything you need to know. That's right, this is another... So welcome to episode 4 of my Telethrasher series, where I take a DIY kit guitar and turn it into my ultimate metal weapon. In the last episode, I installed this binding on the guitar, and in this episode, I'm doing another body modification. So this guitar came with a top-loading bridge, and I'm going to be installing this nice piece of hardware. It is a hip-shot string-through bridge. It's just a nice high-quality bridge that will allow me to have a lot of adjustability when it comes to setting the guitar up, hold tuning and intonation well, and should give the guitar maybe a little different tone, who knows, and some good sustain. But more importantly is it's black versus silver, and it's going to look sick. So let's find out what it takes to drill a guitar body out for a string-through bridge. Let's get to it. So the first thing I need to do is mark the holes where I'm going to drill through the body for the strings to go through. So here is the bottom of the hip shot bridge I'm going to be putting on, and here's the base plate for the stock bridge, and luckily those holes line up perfectly. So I can just use this base plate and screw it on and use those as a guide. So let's get to that. From there then, take a little pen here and just kind of mark those holes. There we can see where I need to drill, right along there. So to drill this out and make sure I'm going as straight as possible, there's two things I'm going to be using. One is this little tabletop drill press that you attach your drill to and lets you go down pretty nice and straight once you have a good flat surface. You can get this from Amazon. They're not too badly priced. Link down in the description for that. The other thing I'm going to be using is a brad point drill bit. So this is a brad point drill bit, and it's something you want to use. A standard drill bit, once it gets into wood, has a tendency to wander as it goes through, and we need this to be as straight as possible. So this little tip right here, those little auger ends there, just allow that bit to go in nice and straight and reduce the amount of wander, so you get really good straight drilled holes. Should be perfect for this project. This handy little tabletop drill press here from Milescraft is pretty neat. You just load in the drill bit, use your chuck key, tighten everything up, and then your standard drill just loads on in, tighten it up like you normally would, and now got a nice good guide to drill vertically with. So now it's time to drill, and you want to set this up in a position that gives you the most amount of control and the most amount of stability. So try to get 4 points of contact if you can. Go down, line up that hole, or the bit on the hole. Looks pretty good. And then come up and drill. Now this first one here I'm going to drill all the way through, and the other ones I won't, and we'll explain that later. It's a nice tip I learned from Brad Angrove. And then the last one here, so for the sixth, in the first and the sixth string here, you drill all the way through. So again, try to get it in the most stable position possible. Line up nicely. Drill all the way through. Forgot to mention that this is an 1/8 inch brad point bit. And now for the second, third, fourth, and fifth strings here, we're just going to drill about halfway through. Let's go to the other side and check it out. Okay, so we're on the back side now. You can see the two holes we drilled through for the first and the sixth string here. The reason we did that is now we line up the plate and drop spare 16th or spare 8th bit into the holes. And now we can use that to mark where the rest of them need to go. We're ready to drill the rest of the way through. So let's knock those out real quick. So while I was editing this video, I realized I forgot to explain why you need to flip the guitar body over to drill the rest of the holes. And what it comes down to is you can't guarantee those holes are going to be perfectly straight, nice and aligned without a proper drill press and machinist table. So by flipping it over and drilling those holes to meet the other ones, you're basically allowing yourself a little bit more leeway to make sure those holes are lined up. Cosmetically, they look nice. And any imperfections or misalignments is met in the middle of the guitar body where nobody can see it anyways. So there you have it. And now we have 6 pretty straight drilled holes there. Ready now to countersink for the ferrules. Okay, so the next step here is to drill for the string through ferrules here. And I opted to go with something that wasn't a flush mount, so I have a little bit more room for air when I get in the depth of this. And I kind of like the way that they look with that lip anyway. So for this, I switched the bit over to a 5/16 brad point, and we'll drill about 1/2 inch down. So let's get to that now. Shit, that's ugly. I messed that up. And right there is where I done f***ed up. You see, I left the drill bit on the guitar body, so when I pulled the drill, it just took chunks of the wood out right there. Ugh. And I don't think that the brad point bit is the proper one for here. I think it'd been better off using a bore bit to be able to make these countersunk holes. Oh well, you live and you learn. That's better. Gotta go in with some speed. And there's all the holes drilled. Messed up this first one. I'll just have to clean it up as much as I can. Okay, so next is putting these in, and normally it's a really tight fit, but mine are just kind of pushing in and I can pull them back out pretty easily. And I think that's because I may have used the wrong bit for doing this job, and it kind of wallowed the holes out a little bit, so I'm gonna have to use some sort of adhesive to make them stick a little more. I'm honestly not sure. Like I said, this is my first time doing this. I'm a novice. Maybe some of you out there that know woodworking quite a bit better can give me some tips on what I may have done wrong or what I need to do. Otherwise, I'm going to try and fix that up as much as I can. But for now, just pop these in so you can see what it looks like with them all on. There they all are. So, not perfect at all, but it'll do the job. It's still going to be pretty sweet to have that string through and be able to run that hip shot bridge. All right, well there we go. It's now stringed through, and like I said, it didn't come out perfect by any means. All the tips and things I learned from other videos online, I apparently need a lot more practice with to get it perfect, but still, for first attempt, I'm pretty happy, and yeah, could have gone better. I'm gonna go try to do a little research to see what I could have done better, but if you know, throw down in the comments. Well, I hope that you found this video somewhat helpful and can take the things that I showed you and do a better job than I did. But I'm stoked either way, and I can't wait to finish this guitar. Speaking of that, that's what the next episode of this series is gonna be sanding this down for finish and applying the finish. So I hope you join me for that. Just go ahead and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss out on any more of these Telethrasher build videos. Thank you so much for watching. As always, we need to finish this video out right with some motherfucking metal.